Michael Kearns, sports centre manager / sports facilities manager.
Yeah.
Shall we say? That's me.
Okay.
Mike Lander, golf operations manager.
Okay, so what is the big challenge that you guys are facing soon? I want to talk about.
I've got a full Ironman and a half Ironman.
Yeah, and I've just got the half Ironman.
So what does that entail, like the Ironman and the half Ironman?
So the half Ironman we're both doing is in Staffordshire, and it is a 70.3, so it's 70.3 miles.
Right.
So we do a 1.2 mile swim straight out of the water, onto the bike, 56 mile on the bike, straight off the bike,
A long way, isn't it?
and then 13.1 mile half marathon. So that's the half,
Yeah.
and then 4 weeks later I've got the full, which is double, so it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile on the bike, and then a full 26.2 mile marathon.
Random question. So what kind of inspired you both to want to do that? Like, what's the inspiration behind it?
Me was I did a marathon I was 18, so I was still as a student, and I did a marathon. And that was like my next goal, was to try and do a full Ironman. So I kind of dipped my toe in the water last year, did a half. Done it again this year, but I'm only doing a half at the minute because I've got studies and the job as well, so it's difficult to try and train as intensely as this lad to try and get anywhere near a full. But half Ironman is at least doable in the time that I've got. But that's the reason I did it, is because I wanted to take another step into challenging myself. So.
Good.
The reason I do it is when you actually say to people what you're doing, and it's just the initial look of why.
Exactly.
Why.
I get that quite often, to be fair.
But it's
a mental thing, though. I think it's like, it's.
I think one of the big thing is the fact that there's thousands and thousands of people do the marathon.
Yeah.
You know, but how many people do a marathon after doing the other two events?
There can't be many people that want to do that.
And it's the when people say, "Oh, I could do the swim," but I couldn't
do the rest
so many people say that.
Yeah,
so many people.
I could do that, but I couldn't do the run. Well, you couldn't do it.
You couldn't do an Ironman.
No,
could
so
you?
It's like I don't want to blow my trumpet, but I actually, at the start of last year, I'd never learned how to swim. So
That's
being June,
amazing.
which is when we did it last year, I'd never learned how to swim. So it was one of those where going from not being able to swim to then 1.2 mile swim in open water, it is scary.
It's different from a pool as well.
Yeah, big time.
It's a massive
First time
test
I
of
went in, I
character,
panicked.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a massive test of character.
yeah, that's right. It's
That
more
is
mental than
amazing.
anything. Like I say, it's great, the physical aspect and looking good, feeling good, being able to cover those distances. But on the actual day, you've got to be mentally.
Yeah.
You've got to be mentally
You've
there.
got to be prepared. Haven't you?
Yeah.
So you're training like every single day, I imagine, or doing something every single day. Like, what's your routines?
Chilling out of bed.
Not doing much, do you?
No.
Just turn up one day and hope
wing it.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, wing it.
No, mine's quite full on, to be fair. Monday's my rest day. I don't do anything on a Monday. I literally complete rest. Tuesday I've got a double session, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Wednesday it's called a run law. So I run first thing in the morning, no food, no water, no
Just
nothing.
on an empty stomach, get up
Pretty
and
much,
go.
yeah. Trying to train your body into using your stores you've got. Thursday's a double session. Friday's an interval session.
Right.
Saturday's a double session, and Sunday's just a normal long run between 8 and 15 miles.
That's
up in
crazy.
towards the day where we'll probably do at least 2 marathon distances.
Oh my
Just
God.
in training.
Yeah.
And then Monday's brilliant day because you don't do anything.
Do you just like eat anything you want on a Monday, or are you still sort of quite strict
No,
on what you're eating?
I don't eat as much carbs on a Monday because I'm not utilising them. And again, although I am doing a lot of training, again, you've still got to be quite good with your carbohydrates and your body getting used to utilising them. So if I'm just taking them on for the sake of taking them on,
Yeah.
you know, it's only going to be stored as bad carbs, and we don't want bad carbs being stored as fat. But no, yours is a little bit.
Mine's a bit different, yeah. I mean, because of what I've got to do, and I'm quite time insensitive. Like I say, I've got a sort of last year my degree, which is quite intensive. I've had 4 assignments that have been no less than sort of 2,000 words, plus I've now got 8 exams coming up, plus sort of a 40-hour work week. It's trying to fit it in, so I train every morning. The only intense thing about my week, I guess, is my sleep pattern, because I actually live half an hour away as well. So my bedtime's 8 o'clock every day, and my alarm goes off at 4:30 every day.
Oh my gosh.
But I have to do that to get into the gym here for 6 o'clock, and my training really is more strength based and high intensity stuff, just to try and keep my heart rate, try and keep my fitness levels up. I'm not improving them by any means, not like this lad. This training he's doing is far superior than most, and is what's required for an Ironman to be done. But for me, I'm just kind of sustaining, because I want to be able to do the event and go and do it, but whilst I'm also making sure I'm doing strength work to make sure that I'm injury free. And I'm doing I do a swim session each week just to make sure the swimming's fine, and then I do 2 or 3 high intensity sessions a week, just to make sure that, like I say, that I'm sustaining my level of fitness. But I won't be there to try and exceed myself. I'll just be there to try and finish.
Try and do it.
So
do you think you'll ever do a full one?
Yeah, but I don't think I'll do it in the near future. I've got to be careful, being that when I complete my degree, I'll be a PGA professional golfer. I don't want to then try and do the amount of training that Mick does and neglect the golf side. So
it is time consuming.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Really time consuming.
At the minute, no. But in the future, yeah. But it just depends. Like I say, it's a big commitment to do a full Ironman.
Yeah.
Big
you look at the big goal, and there's getting to that finish line is unbelievable.
I bet it is.
Getting to that, it's just unbelievable.
So what is it that motivates you both to keep going? Is it
challenge? It's like the carrot and the stick for me. It's like, do you know? I don't think this is like an educated design. But no, it's like there's always the next step. There's always something to grab to get to. There's always, like, when someone tells you can't, or when something comes up and it's like, well, it's not possible for most. Well, we're going to try and make it possible for us. It's like, it's that mental thing, like we said, is genetics, all that stuff makes a big difference. But if someone blatantly says, no, you can't do it, it's like, for me, I've got a heart murmur, and although it's not a massive damage to me, I was always said that you may not be able to perform at a similar level as to people who don't have that condition.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, just kind of prove it wrong, and then just kept going.
That's really good.
It's just always trying to improve yourself.
It's challenging
You know what I
yourself.
mean? Yeah, the amount of people who don't physically understand what the body is capable of.
Yeah.
So, what's the way of finding out how capable your body is? Let's push
Try
it
it,
to the
haven't you?
absolute extreme.
Yeah.
You know, and like Mike said, he's got a heart murmur. I've got a hole in my heart.
Oh my word.
So I only produce 98% of oxygenated blood throughout a year. So it's people use all sorts of excuses why they can't do anything. But if you train your body correctly, you get checked out. So we go for ECG scans every 12 months just to make sure that everything's ticking over right, and you know, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
And they say, don't they, the motto of the Ironman is anything is possible, and it genuinely is if you put your mind to it.
Yeah. Like I say, it's mind over matter. It's not physically we are better. It's not we have unbelievable genetics. We have this, we have that. It's literally, what do you decide to do? Each day we make a decision to go and train or go and eat the right things, or and it has its benefits. It's not easy, but what is?
Yeah.
It's worth it having.
Yeah. So if it's worth having, you go and chase it, don't you?
Yeah. Like he's already.
So we've got here that the reception team found out that the top New Year's resolution was to lose weight and eat healthier. So do you have any advice to help these people stick to their goals?
Why does it have to be a resolution to want to live a healthy lifestyle?
Good.
Question with a
Good
question.
question, I know, yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, people say, "Oh, I'm going to start a diet." There is no such thing as a diet. You either want to live a healthier lifestyle, or you don't want to live an healthier lifestyle. The amount of people come to me, "Oh, can I have a diet plan?" Well, why not have just a life-changing food
it's
eating
not,
plan?
It's
So
like,
it's a life change.
It's a
like
lifestyle
all-
change. There's no such thing as a diet.
No, it's like all these fad diets and stuff like that is, and like you got the Atkins and you got all these like high protein, low carb, and it frustrates us more than anything really. Is all these sort of quick fixes. If anything, educate yourself first before you even try on doing what you think's right. Just educate yourself. Go and ask people questions. We're more than happy. We rarely get any serious questions of people who will be consistent in what they say. That's what we struggle with over and that side, is that we'll see someone, we'll see the motivation, but they're just not consistent. They'll start, but they don't understand that consistency is the key. It's not what you do in there specifically. It's more consistency of being there, and the more times you show up, the more people are willing to kind of help you. So it's not making a resolution; it's making a decision and being consistent.
And our biggest bugbear is people coming and saying that carbohydrates are bad. That is the biggest load of jargon I've ever heard in my life.
I must eat.
Oh my God.
I must eat over 4 times the body weight in carbohydrates.
Yeah. It's your biggest source of income. You wouldn't run your car without petrol, so why would you run your body without its energy source being carbohydrates?
Exactly.
It's the type of what is being taken in. Isn't
And again, if you look at it, if you're taking something away that you enjoy, if you enjoy bread, you take that away, your body's going to continuously crave, and your mind's going to continuously crave that bread. If you, for example, if you like the bread, well, why not just reduce the amount of that you have, and then continue living comfortably?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like all these. Sorry, this is a really big answer to one question, but it's like all these.
You started somebody else.
Yeah, you are, because it
hours.
is. We don't only research this for our job and our degree, but we also research our interest. And the amount of people say, "Oh, what's this supplement?" or "What's this protein?" or "What did you think I should take?" Just don't take anything and just understand what you're eating. Just educate yourself on what you're eating. Because if you don't understand what you're eating, why the hell are you supplementing? Because you could be eating a load of rubbish, supplemented with protein. Protein is literally, I said this to another guy yesterday actually, it's like, protein is like, say you got your 3/4 of your petrol from Texaco, that's your food. You supplement, you just go into another different petrol garage, you just go into an Asda. You're not getting anything that's going to be substantially better or different. Protein is protein. You just take it because you need to top up, that because your stomach can't take more. But people don't understand what's in food already, and they jump straight to supplements. It's like going from undergrad degree straight to trying to get a PhD. Understand what you're doing here first, and then. It's
like you said before about people want a quick fix. Why would you want something you've not earned? You know, so why would you?
That's a good point.
You know, you don't go to university and get given your degree straight away. You've got to work for it, haven't you? You've got to work from the bottom to work to where you are. So again, with your, you know, the way you look, the way you are, why would you want just something to be given to you? Why not put in the hours, the sweat, the blood, the tears to get to it?
And the definition of training is to create biological adaptation. And the body just doesn't do 30 minutes of exercise and then it goes, oh well, I'll just recover from that.
I can do a marathon now.
It's like it's a process of adaptation. It has to occur over time.
And the best thing about, like you said, the training side of it is that's the bit you should be enjoying. You should be enjoying. You shouldn't train for the sake of training. You should train because of how good it makes you feel, the mindset it puts you in.
Well, 70% of the time it makes you feel good. Depends on during it. Sometimes I'm not enjoying it. I'm just trying to get through it.
But it's a satisfaction when you finish. You know what you've achieved. You know,
like
somebody who's never, you know, I don't know, someone's never ran before, or they haven't ran for 3 years. The first time you've ran a mile or something like that, you know, you should be celebrating the fact that you've gone from not being able to do that to running that mile. Looking back on your journey rather than just someone giving it to you. You know, It's earned.
You keep sparking things I'm going to say now. This is the last thing I'm going to say in this question. I promise.
Then we'll move on
Next.
to the next one.
But, and we always agree on this. Whenever we
don't agree on much.
we don't agree on much. Whenever we see someone who doesn't go to the gym often, or looks a little bit sheepish when they're coming in, or I don't know, has any form of personal issues on maybe the way that they look, or when we see people in the gym giving it
big legs,
big beans, yeah. When we see someone doing something as well as they can, as hard as they can, that promotes respect from other people in the gym.
Yeah.
So it's not you need to know what you're doing. It's you're willing to give it a go and you're willing to be consistent.
Definitely.
Yeah. Good one. We like it.
We agree on that.
We agree on that one.
There you go.
The one thing.
What has been the worst moment sort of in your training and like the build up to
I've got a
it?
good one, you go first. Mine was so bad. I was very scared.
It's. I don't know. It's an odd question, that, because you're picking up niggles left, right, and centre. You know, as soon as you start advancing the distances you're running at.
Yeah.
In fact, this morning when my watch says I'm performing at -8, which that didn't help.
So well.
And the scale's from -20 to +20, and it told me I was performing at -8. That weren't good.
Oh.
Well, I did a big session yesterday, so my recovery is probably not recovered as much as I should. But no, it's the injury side of it. An injury side, you know, you could be hitting some of the best times you've run in
Yeah.
God knows how many years or whatever. You get to that point, you've overdone it that little bit too much, and next day you're waking up and you know your back might be tight, or your glute's gone tight, or your Achilles is flared up. So then it puts you back a couple of weeks, you know. So
Yeah.
I suppose would you say worrying about injuries?
Yeah, that's the big importance of strength.
Yeah, worrying about injuries is probably the big.
Yeah, I mean you've got something with was it your calf or your shin?
Yeah,
Calf?
I generated a hole in my fascia in my shin. So when I ran, I got a what's the word?
Production?
A little bump.
Protrude. And the braids.
Yeah. Yes, I've got the looks. We've got I had a bit of muscle coming out because my fascia's not there. But that's all sorted now. I think it's just healed itself. But again, it's just worrying. Well, it's not even worrying. It's just a case of trying to push yourself to your limits every time you train, within reason, but hoping not to pick up an injury.
Yeah.
But with regards to a single one,
I've got one.
I forgot to unclip out of my bike and been attached to my bike and fallen off at some traffic lights. What were quite good. It was full of minibus of young kids laughing their head off, which was
At least you gave them a laugh at
quite amusing.
Yeah.
But it really hurt my elbow, which didn't help.
But
But you're not a cyclist until you've fallen off your bike.
I agree.
At the traffic lights. At traffic lights, it was full.
Yeah.
But mine's a bit boring. I think it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more serious.
Well,
Tell
so obviously at the beginning I said that I hadn't learned to swim until January of last year, and then subsequently did the half Ironman last year on June 12th. I actually only went in open water 2 days for the first time, 2 days before the event.
Oh my
It's not the smartest decision I've ever made in my life. I'm gonna say that, and it was in Pennington Flash, where Pennington Flash is one of those lakes where you think there is a lot of monsters in there because you can't see anywhere. There's weeds pulling you down.
Yeah.
There's all sorts. You don't want to swallow because you just don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Where we going here?
It's just dirty and and compare that to a nice fresh pool.
Yeah.
Where we going here?
Now, the whole circuit was 900 metres, so obviously I'd never swum that far. And at about 200 metres, I stopped and I actually didn't know where I was. I couldn't even figure out where I was because I was panicking that much. Because you can't hang on to a side, no one else knows who you are. There's a canoe about 1,000 metres that way who won't be able to see you if you drown. And
Can't drown in a wetsuit.
it feels like in that instance it felt like it. And it for 900 metres it took me about half an hour to get 900 metres, whereas in the actual event I did 1.2 mile in 40 minutes. So I that was the scariest moment of the training for the half Ironman that I've had.
Yeah.
Going into open water for the first time and just wanting me more.
Oh,
I was panicking like
just like I'm sick of this. Don't
You
want to
do
do it.
realise that's actually on camera.
Sure,
Broadcasting to the
Barry.
cast.
that's fine. I am
You
honest.
wanted your mum.
I actually wanted my mother. I was absolutely panicking.
So cute.
Preparation
You're
next
now
time,
coming
more
on
than
with
2 days.
Mummy's boy.
I don't mind that because I'm being honest. You're trying to be brave. You
Well
had
done.
panic. You had panic. No, but yeah, it's like
But
you say,
you did
but this is going back to the mental thing. Is everyone will have challenges, and it depends what you put yourself into, what challenge you get put into.
Yeah.
But the key thing is overcoming or doing your best to overcome whatever challenge is in front of you.
Yeah.
Like say, that to me is one of my most mental challenges I've ever had, is being that alone at one point and having to then overcome that to get through it.
Yeah.
There isn't a written book to tell you how to do it. You've got people like I Mick who helped me out through the whole process. A lot of people don't have that. There's only so much people can do. You've got to do enough to get through it yourself. Like you're saying, the mental thing is massive. Your mental side will quit before your body does, and in that sense, that's why I shared that story, because if I hadn't have got through that and been okay with that's going to happen in the event, like wanting me mum, I wouldn't have done it. So it's that mental strength more than anything is the deeper reason on why we do it.
You don't need to explain yourself that you wanted your mum during a swim.
It's nice. It's probably
I didn't have my phone though, so I couldn't call her.
in the middle of the way. Right. What else have we got? There's one question about me. Have you got like a song that you always listen to that really sort of gets you going for your training or during the event or anything? Like one particular?
Oh, for me, I'm quite old school because on the day you can't have any sort of help.
Right.
You can't receive anything. You can't get anything from the crowd. So if you drop a gel, you can't get any help from an external.
Right.
That's a scare actually.
Everything has got to be on your own. You've got to self-supply yourself. Obviously, at fueling stations you can pick stuff up, but you're not allowed to receive anything from anyone or anything. So with regards to the music, you're not allowed any like hearing kind of.
Right.
So there's no music or anything involved. So when I train, I'm trying to work on my mental strength as well by being out on my own. You know, so I don't listen to any music when I train. It's a bit boring. Yesterday, for example, I did 3,000 metres in the pool, 120 lengths. No music, it was horrific.
It's because it's boring to up.
Precisely, that's it. It was so boring. It was, but again, it's the mental strength. Just keep going. So I don't listen to anything. But I'm guessing you're going to come out with something cheesy, aren't you? Like the Rocky theme tune or something.
No, mine's cutting out, Joe. No, no.
What's that tune?
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't have any specific. I just put it on just so there's something there. But I think I go. It's like Mick. I go quite internal. So I just phase out and I'm thinking about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if there's music on or not. I put it on because I can. But if like Mick does, if I were doing it properly, you've got to prepare for what the event's going to give you, and you can't with music. You can kind of switch off, and your brain will just follow the music. So I don't really have a preference to a song really. No. Sometimes I even listen to podcasts. I listen to obviously golf podcasts, nutrition, anything just to, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's just a case of trying to zone out.
Yeah,
especially on your long runs, your long rides.
Yeah, it's horrible when you're doing it that amount of time. Like I don't know how he does it. I'd have to train myself up. Yeah, it's not easy to do it that way.
Still on the music topic, what song would you dedicate to Myerscough staff to help them keep motivated? Random one.
It's a question that we can't answer.
What's that song? Proud.
Is that M People?
M People.
Is it M People?
Proud, yeah, something like that.
What have you done today to make you
That's
feel
it, yeah. That's what you need to keep saying to yourself.
Yeah, you do.
You know.
You'll know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy with that, Mike?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Go with that. You can ask yourself every day then, can't you?
Yeah.
What have you actually done today
to make you
to make you feel proud?
I know it now.
Sing it for us? Can you give us like a... I don't really know. Can you give us a bit?
No.
You were going well then.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, try
No,
it.
we'll leave it at that.
Okay. I think we've kind of covered everything, guys. If you're happy, have you got any final things you want to say?
Oh, I've got one actually.
Oh, no, curveball.
So, have you got any motivation tips for low days?
Low days.
When your alarm's going off at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, and you've just got to ask yourself why you're doing it, or remind yourself why you're doing it.
We're not like these. I don't know. It's difficult. We're not sort of ulterior human beings. Like we do have days where. Well, I have days where I wake up and just think, what are you doing? Why are you awake at this time? Why are you going to go and do this to your body? And how are you then going to then go to work?
Yeah.
But there is no, well, if you put this algorithm together, or if you do this ritual, if you jump up and down 3 times and do a star jump, you'll get through it. You just don't ask any questions, get up and do it. Just go and do it. Just don't.
I think it's the mental side of it. Part and parcel of it is getting up, chasing your dreams while people are sleeping.
You're philosophical, aren't you?
Trying to be. But it's like when you see, like when we were reiterating back to what Mike was saying before about you see people in the gym who aren't or look really new to it and stuff, if you look at them and they was out running, for example, they're doing more than that person sat on the sofa.
Yeah.
So they're actually trying to do something, they're trying to change something. But then when my alarm goes off, not only does it say, basically, get your ass out of bed, you've got training to do.
Yeah.
Just like little things like that. It's the bigger picture. Me getting up and doing that training session is part of the jigsaw that's leading to the day that when I finish and I'm actually finished and look at my time and think, I've earned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it links to other things as well. It's like,
what have you done today?
That is what I've done today. But it's not what have I done that day, it's what I've accumulated in days to make.
And everything has like a spin-off effect. So when I think about it in a way of, if I choose to miss a session, I'll then choose to miss something else, and then miss something else, and miss something else. The key is consistency, and you don't have to be regimented. You've just got to make the decision. Just go and do it. Just don't ask questions. Just go and do it. Show up, even if you do not know exactly what you're doing. If you show up and ask a question, people will help. But there's a stigma around, or I think there's a stigma around the gym and the people and people who do it and who know it, that people won't go and ask because they'll get laughed at, or they won't get the help that they need. But it's on them. It's not on us to then go and get them. It's on them to go and do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It is, like you say, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
In that sense where you've got the big picture you've got to look at. You getting up and doing that hour's training is not going to, or hour and a half training is not going to make or break your time. But consistently missing that session because you want an extra half an hour in bed is what's gonna.
Make the difference.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's a good point.
eventually it's gonna add up.
Yeah.
You know, so if you really don't want to get out of bed that morning, but then, so you miss that session, a couple of days later you think, well, I didn't train that day, I'm just going to have another hour in bed, or whatever. Theoretically then, if you add the two together, you've missed 2 hours worth of training. 2 hours worth of training is quite a long time.
Yeah.
You know, 2 hours of quality sessions. And 9 times out of 10, you get up out of bed, you really don't want to train, you get yourself to the gym, it's usually one of your better sessions of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't have to be a nun to do it amazingly.
No, what's a nun got to
You
do?
don't have
No.
to. You don't have to devote your whole life, your whole breathing amount of existence to make changes.
Yeah.
You've just got to make good decisions.
Yeah.
Be what's the word?
Basically, what you're trying to say, you set a big goal, then you break it down into a medium goal,
Yeah.
but then you split that down into small goals. So you hit the first goal, then you attempt to hit the second goal, then your third goal, then you get to your medium goal, and then slowly but surely you build up to this long-term goal you've been aiming for, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, just don't sort of like think that you've got to make a cold turkey change.
Yeah.
Train 7 days a week,
What are your sayings?
4 hours a day.
It don't make sense.
I do in my head. That's all that matters. And your life will become hell. It doesn't have to be that way. Like you say, you've just got to make small changes and just keep showing up.
Yeah, you've got to train yourself to enjoy it, because you need to enjoy exercise. How people can't enjoy exercise is beyond me.
It can be a vast of reasons as well. It can be for looks, it can be for
Yeah.
goals, it can be for learning. Just use whatever motivation you can use to do it. Doesn't matter how you motivate yourself, you just need to do it.
Everyone has a story, don't they? Everyone has a
I've got a good one.
everyone has a story to tell, but you know, about why they want to train, the reasons behind training and stuff, and it's never too late to start.
I'm getting bored of you now.
You probably are, to be fair.
Right, so final thought then, final thing that you want to say to the camera, to the staff at Myerscough then? Any sort of thoughts or anything?
Biggest two things for me that I see for a lot of people is sleep and water.
What, together?
Actually
Sleep in
together,
water?
sleep in water. that relieving my panic all over again.
Do you want to ring your mum?
I'm not going to run speed that. No, it's people don't. If you want to make a change, and a lot of people want to make a change for looks and being able to feel better. Take a look at your sleep. Take a look at your water intake, and not how much water am I getting out of that cola bottle, or how much water am I getting out of that orange juice, or I slept for 4 hours. That's got to be enough. No. You need to get between 6 and 8 hours and 6 is the minimum, because the first 4 hours of your sleep is to proliferate your brain for psychological reasons. The next 4 is for your physiological reasons. So if you only get 4 hours, yeah, great, because your brain will be alright, you'll be tired. But if you don't then get your recovery part of your sleep, you're going to struggle to then keep consistent.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, the amount of calories that are in stuff like your cola and your all different stuff, like calories isn't a big thing, but it's the sugar reel that's in there. It's so easy to drink such a lot of that stuff and feel like you're not taking much in. So if you're going to do anything to make a big change, get one of these, drink 2 of them a day, and try and stay away from anything that's got anything else in it.
Yeah.
Liquids wise, and get between 6 and 8 hours of sleep a night.
There you go.
Mine would be choices, making the right choices, and educating, i.e. understanding why you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Your choices, so making the decision, if there's a piece of fruit there or a piece of cake there, think what's obviously you're looking at the cake going, yeah, that does actually look tasty.
I want the
But
cake.
what am I going to get out of that? Whereas if I take that piece of fruit, what am I going to get out of that? Is it going to make me... That cake will give me a great insulin boost, so you'll get a little bit of energy for 20 minutes, an hour or something.
Yeah.
Whereas the idea of the fruit's going to, it's got so much more benefits to it.
Yeah.
So just simple things like that. And the knowledge, if you do want to change, you need to start understanding a little bit more.
Yeah.
What you want to change, why you want to change. That's about it, really. Yeah, educating yourself about, people so easy and so quick to saying that carbohydrates this, carbohydrates that, fats are bad, fats are this.
The food industry's done that.
Yeah, read about it because
you've got studies that are
you'll be surprised.
It's like studies that are sponsored by like your Coca-Colas and your McDonald's. They're the ones that are at the minute are the biggest driving force in calorie intake, carbohydrates and fats. There's a myth on calories, there's a myth on fats, but there's no myth on sugar. Sugar is the most addictive substance going.
Yeah.
Now, moderation, brilliant. Quite a lot of us struggle with moderation. So it's just about education on, and it's not about doing this regimented, your life becomes black and white hell. Just, like I say, I love to learn new stuff about things like that, to know what I'm putting in my body, because I can make better decisions, this, that and the other, whatever, but yeah, just re-educate, be consistent, and drink a lot of that, and sleep.
Choices, education,
consistency,
water and sleep.
There you go.
Your life will be perfect.
Thoughts of the day. Right, spot on. Thanks, guys.
All we
Thank
need
you.
now is people to be playing in the
I
background.
know,
of
yeah,
it.
we could try and pull
You
that
can
as a
sing it,
cover over.
and I'm not going to dance. You can sing.
Can you dance to that?
You can put that down.